Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's called Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
I'm Rebecca.
Aaron reminded me last week that I never say the name of the podcast anymore.
Really? I feel like you do.
I know, I thought I did, but I forgot to say it last week. It's like, you never do anymore. I was like, what?
Welcome, newbies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very early in the morning.
It's very early. Well,
it's not actually that early.
But like for recording a podcast where we have to pop off on people.
Yes, it's 9 a.m. People probably are like, wow, is it like 4, 5, 6? It's 9. It's early because to set all this up, we had to get up early. You know?
Yeah.
And then prepare.
Yeah.
But isn't that what everyone does for their job anyway? They're like, okay, so you have a 9 to 5. Literally, why does it feel so much earlier than it is?
I know. I don't know. It really does though.
I know.
3 a.m. and I'm still awake. That's what it feels like, 3 a.m.
It kind of does. I listened to this other podcast and they're the opposite of me. For me, when I plan recording sessions, I'm like, the absolute earliest I will do is 11 a.m. so that I can have hours and hours.
She'd be like
prep.
that.
I need to mentally prepare and get energy and sit around and, not sit around, but move to get energy. And then I listen to this other podcast and they're the opposite. And they're like, we're recording bright and early. We have so much energy. And then they're like, wow, we are on this episode, we sound so dead because it's the afternoon. And I'm like, wow, it's shocking that I think that people are morning people. What time did you wake up today?
See, I am a morning person. I'll wake up around 6:30, but I like a leisurely, morning where I don't talk to anyone. Yeah. For myself, I'm a morning person in my own brain and with my own company. But to be out and about and, it takes me a couple hours. And if you really want to know, you should ask my sister, who will tell you that I'm the moodiest person ever in the morning.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see. Today will be the test.
Because I have a family where it's the second you wake up, they're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you guys, stop talking to me. I need coffee.
I was never a morning person, so I feel your pain. And growing up, my dad had to start, his job was 7 to 3. Mm-hmm. So in the morning, he'd be leaving so early. And then on the days where he would be waking us up, he would sing this good morning song, which now makes me feel nostalgic. It gives me a tinge of nostalgia.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's triggering. Yeah. Because when he would come in and he would sing it, I'd be like, no! Because it means I have to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I am jealous of people that are morning people.
It's nice, but at the same time, being a night person is totally valid.
Yeah, night owls. I think I'm actually in the middle now. I used to be a major night owl and stayed up all night, but I heard that there's a third one. And it's someone that's thriving during the day. But what's weird about being a morning person is I am so tired and it's painful for me to wake up early, but then I am most productive in the morning.
Interesting.
So whether I get up at 6 a.m., which never happens, I'll say 7 or 7:30 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm still most productive from that time until 1 p.m.
Oh yeah, same. My brain is off by 3. Wait, I saw this really funny tweet maybe or TikTok where someone was why is the worst chunk of time in a day 3 to 5 p.m.?
Oh yeah.
The most depressing. And I'm like, that is so true.
It kind of is.
Because that's when I start getting really hungry too, but it's too early for dinner.
Yeah.
And then you just don't feel like working, you don't feel like exercising. What do people do?
I feel like that's the time that I try to do something that involves moving. So not just sitting at my desk, but I work from home, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll go clean my room for 10 minutes or something just to move.
Right.
But I remember the times where I had an office job and the company had a 3 p.m. snack.
Yeah.
And every day they would send out the email and be like, here's the snack of the day. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And now I get it because by 3 p.m. you need something. And sometimes when I'm working and I'm so bored and I feel myself being okay, I might just wrap it up for the day. I think back to that time where I was working in that office and I look at the clock and it's 3 or 4 and I'm like, dang, all of them are still in the office for at least 2 more hours, if not more. And I'm just thank God, I don't work there anymore.
True, but like that's where I miss the office because you had people to talk to during that time.
That's true. I don't know why, but I picture the office like empty during that time. Like I don't know if that's when people were in meetings or in the photo studio or doing whatever the heck, but I just have so many memories of that time where like everyone's gone and I'm just like looking around and I'm like, where the hell did everyone go? And I see one girl like across the way and like you were allowed to bring your dogs at that company. So like the girl who's gone, her dog's crying and me and this one girl are just like, is the dog okay? Like waving to each other from across the hallway and we're like, how's the dog? And then we're consoling the dog for an hour and we're like, where is everyone?
That's true. I just remember like some interesting lively discussions happening around that time because everyone's like back from lunch and then you're all just like feeling those end of the day blues or like jitters, I don't know. And then you get into like some sort of talk and then an hour passes and it's like, oh, now I got my second wind because it's like 4:30 and it's the end of the day.
Wait, that's so funny that you guys had those riveting conversations then, because when I worked at this job, we would do that in the morning and the girls that sat in my little pod, it was so funny. Like every day we would come in and be like, guys, do I have a story for you? And we would tell each other these like crazy stories that involve like the guys living in the guy's attic and like,
my God. A
lot of them I feel like were urban legends. That one though was confirmed. We told it on our spooky season episode and I know that story is true because I know the guy whose house it was. But yeah, we tell each other like those stories and then the updates as they happen and like this story about the girl who went on the Tinder date and then it like she finds out she ate a human and like woo, and I'm like, that's what we were talking about at 9 a.m. And I remember one time I was telling a story and a girl from the pod on the other side popped her head around and she's like, sorry to eavesdrop, but I heard that story too. And we're like, get in here, get in. It was so funny. But yeah, that's what we would do at 9 a.m. And then I don't know where they were at 3 p.m. They weren't there.
Where is everyone at 3 p.m.? Taking a nap? Like
probably
3 p.m. and I'm still awake.
And everyone's gone. I'm alone in this office. Okay.
It's better than yours. We always find a way to make it about Taylor.
I know.
I love it.
It was funny because when Erin and I were talking about, I forget what we were talking about, but she basically said, every episode we talk about Taylor Swift and you might not even know it, like if you don't know her songs. And I was like, wait, that's so true.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
So if we just start speaking in like poems or like say this beautiful like 2 sentences, it's probably a Taylor Swift lyric, but I realized that not everyone knows every line.
Right. So they just think we're really smart and poetic. Moral of the story.
Or they think we're crazy that we just like start singing.
That's true.
In the middle of a sentence.
No.
There's a video of a YouTuber who's also a singer and she was like going off in a podcast and then she started singing a line in her song and then everyone was making fun of her because she just like bursted out into song. But I was like, not me doing that on almost every episode. Or like every time I have a conversation with someone about like a guy that did me wrong or I don't know.
I think that's part of your charm.
Yeah, and then I just bust out into song about like the line of the Taylor Swift lyric that applies to that situation.
Yeah, I think that's totally normal and valid.
Yeah, I love busting out into song.
It makes life more fun and light.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Are we okay?
We're great. I think this is going well.
Yeah, me too.
For a morning session. For such an early morning
You
session.
should have a little cute pop-up on when you do the intro that it's like, morning session.
It'll happen once
Morning
ever.
edition.
Yeah, tired edition.
With like a silly sound.
I will try to do that. I'm not the best at editing.
I feel like you're so good.
I'm good at editing the standard video.
Yeah.
Where you just cut out the silences, cut out every time we say like or like click the mouth.
Yeah.
I edit all of that out. It drives me up a wall. And you know how sometimes when you have a job, it makes you hyper aware of certain things in real life that normal people or people without that job wouldn't recognize, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if you work in accounting, anytime someone talks about money, you could be like, wow, that person just has no clue. Or I don't know. I'm a wedding photographer, so I always notice like light or like anytime there's a wedding in public, I'm like staring. I'm like, ooh, what's going on over there? Like that looks so fun.
Right.
So now that I've been editing the podcast, I notice people breathing and their mouth clicking when they talk so often. I don't hate it in real life.
Yeah.
But I think like, oh, if that was on a podcast, I would have edited every single one of those out.
Right.
And it sounds so much better without it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I listen to the podcast and I run through and you just hear so many breaths like, and then I went to the store and I just, all of that is gone.
Right.
And I don't know why, but it's so natural to click your mouth. Like, especially if you're telling a story where maybe you don't know what you're going to say next.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like an exciting story or something like that. It's just so natural to click. And I'm like, that's such a weird sound. And like, why do we do that? Like,
that.
yeah, or how can I even do it? I'm going to try to do it and I'm going to leave it in and this is the only time you'll hear it, hopefully.
It's like a filler, but in a non-verbal way.
Exactly. People will be like, so.
Yes.
And I went to the store. And I'm like, that is so odd that we do that. But
I know,
everyone does
it.
Some people do it more than others, but pretty much everyone does that.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. And then another thing that, you know how language changes over culture, I guess, like over time? I realize that people use filler words such as, I mean, and then they'll say the sentence.
I say that all the time.
I say it all the time.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. I noticed that about Kim Kardashian. She says,
Really?
you know, in the way that, I'm not trying to insult her because, you know, Queen Kim Kardashian, but she says, you know, in the way that like a 16-year-old would say like.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I think that she was probably media trained to not say like.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, to the point, I listened to her a few years ago on Ashley Graham's podcast, and it was to the point where I was like, this is actually annoying.
Yeah.
Because every sentence started with it and had it in the middle. And I was like, oh my God.
It's a lot. See, I know I say this all the time, but I don't try to stop it. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just making like an absolute statement, I always have to be like, well, I feel like, I don't know why.
But is that bad? Because you're almost clarifying that what you're saying is an opinion.
That's true.
Or a literal feeling.
So is everyone saying that as much as me? Because I feel like I say it all the time.
I think people definitely say it a lot. I had friends in college who were in a different major than me. They had a professor who didn't let them say, I feel like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes me feel like I need to... I just said
But I will say they were in, I guess, public health. Like they were trying to be nurses. So what they were talking about was not opinion.
Okay.
And it couldn't be. It was all fact. Like you don't feel like when it comes to medicine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like... It's a fact. It's
I still
science.
think I should maybe cut it down. Like, what's a different way to say that?
In my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, the thing is, saying I feel like, that is valid. Because if someone is acting a certain way, you're going to say, I feel like that's annoying. But someone else might not feel like that's annoying.
What about I feel as though?
Yeah, but that's the same thing.
I know, but it's like not as many likes, maybe.
It sounds a little more elevated.
Yeah.
I feel as though.
Let's elevate the experience of talking to each other.
I think we should. Remember when you said arcane? I loved that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great word.
That's so funny.
Someone commented on one of our videos where you said
a canon?
Yeah, they were like, The Robbers by 1975 is not canon because it's not real. But then they go, Harry Potter is canon. And I was like, first of all, this is a comedy podcast where we speak in hyperbole. So if I say that Twilight is the greatest movie of all time, we all can just be FFR and just know that if I had to induct a movie into the movie Hall of Fame, like, sure, maybe I know that it's not the greatest movie of all time, but I'm gonna say that, okay?
Twilight is canon.
It is.
Come for me.
I feel like Twilight is canon.
I saw that comment and I was like, okay.
I didn't even know what to say back. I was just like,
the canon police are here.
I'm not trying to come for that person, though. Maybe I'll just... Now I feel like I should delete that comment just so it's not like we're calling someone out.
I think we're doing it in jest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not actually mad.
I just want to recognize that, like, okay, if we're thinking black and white history textbook, we're in an English class in a college, like, you're right. Okay, it's not.
Robbers is not.
But, like, in my mind, in my opinion.
In my life.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Their whole discography is. I'm just kidding. I was thinking the other day of making a TikTok, you know, when people are just walking, like Bran Flakes does this all the time, and like you say something opinionated. I was going to say how I've been a 1975 fan since 2013.
Wow.
So everyone needs to get in line who is now standing Matty Healy because he's dating Taylor Swift. Where were you 10 years ago at the union transfer?
Yes.
I was.
Okay. I have two things to say. Yes, gatekeep. And I was at the Tower Theater in fall of 2014 at the 1975 show.
Wait, they did the Tower Theater?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Took the subway from Temple.
So we're both in the same boat, basically.
Posted the picture, captioned, "Babe, you look so cool."
Can I find it on your Instagram?
I archived a bunch of them, but I use their lyrics for captions all the time.
I think that'll be my next caption. Watch this space.
Is that a song by them? I liked them.
Babe, you look so cool. Like, watch this space. Like,
okay.
Keep an eye out.
Wait, I love that line. Watch this space.
You've never heard that? I feel like that's almost a TikTok.
I've heard of
that's
Watch
a TikTok thing, I think. Hell yeah. Let's go.
But yeah, I will watch the space.
Okay.
Babe, you look so cool is so good. It still stands.
I kind of want it tattooed. What if you get Babe you and I get so cool?
I think we don't need the you because I'm not getting Babe you, but maybe I'll get Babe and you can get either you look so cool or just look so cool.
Okay.
I think that's artsy.
Watch this space.
I have shown multiple people the Robbers music video and I feel like it's almost like a test. So this guy I was like kind of dating, I showed it to him and he was very perceptive and I was like, okay, we can continue. And then I showed it to a few other people recently, literally a month ago. My friend's face while watching this, she was shooketh and scared.
Yeah.
And if you're watching video, her face the whole time was like,
the girls that get it.
And I was like, this is mine and Rebecca's favorite music video.
Favorite piece of culture
in
the 21st century.
And I'm not trying to say I support what it stands for.
No.
A toxic relationship where guns are involved? Like, absolutely not. But it's a work of art, and that's not an opinion, that's fact.
Art recognizes art.
So true. And art isn't supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to make you feel something. And art, what is this? In high school, senior year of high school art class, my class was like obsessed with this quote. What was it? Art is supposed to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed.
So are we disturbed?
Probably. But in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. Look at us just having like a linguistics conversation right now.
I know. I just said probably very weird. I said it like a fifth grader. So I'm going to redeem myself. Probably. And yesterday I said the word friend and the person I was with said, you just said friend. I said, never talk to me like that again, because there's no way that I said friend, and that's a promise. But I think I might have actually did say friend. I think I said friend because I was talking really fast, and I was like, you will never speak of this again. I'm gonna not say the second part of what I said because it was a threat.
Oh God, you don't got to worry about me. I got a C in linguistics in college, so.
What is linguistics?
Basically, like.
I'm so smart. I'm like, I'm an intellectual, and what is linguistics?
Like how you say stuff.
Oh.
So basically everything we've been talking about. You know what? I don't want anyone to come for me in the comments, so I'm gonna look up this definition.
Yeah, they're like, actually
linguistics.
Linguistics is whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like the study of language and its structure, including syntax, phonetics, semantics. So I guess what I said was like one part of it, but it's really just language in general.
It's everything. Okay. Love that. Should we talk about our topic?
Sure.
Yay.
I think we should record at 9 a.m. all the time.
I think so too. This, I think, is going well.
Damn.
I do think I need an hour though, or maybe an hour and a half to walk around the house.
Yeah.
Get myself moving. I could not wake up and then record like 30 minutes later. So 9 might be the earliest I could do.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. Today we're talking about destination wedding drama.
Eek!
I can't wait. Last week we did vacations and it was so fun. And I feel like a lot of the stories weren't shocking, but I feel like there's certain things in life that bring out a different side of people.
Yeah.
And one of them is weddings. One of them is vacations, like
birthdays.
Traveling, birthdays, like these big things in our lives.
Yeah.
That affect our mental psyche.
Taylor Swift Eras tours.
Yeah, literally. So I am excited for this. On the last episode, I mentioned that I feel as though vacations and weddings are two of the things that show a different side of people and where people are like, whatever, I don't care, I'm doing it, like do it big. So then them together is like crazy.
I would also like to say that I just went on a destination wedding and I'm not talking about you, Kayla, if you're listening.
Oh my God, that wedding, if you are listening, was one of the most beautiful
it was so
weddings
beautiful.
I've ever seen. Her dress was everything. The photography, the The flowers, the details, the bridesmaids, everything.
So I feel like that's important to say because there's a way to do it right. I'm not sure if all the stories you picked are like bad necessarily, but I just feel like, you know, they can be really like beautiful, good things.
Oh, I'm a destination wedding stan.
Yeah, we talked about this, right?
Yeah. I will be having a destination wedding. If the man that proposes to me doesn't want to have a destination wedding, we're not gonna get
You're not
married.
Compatible.
Yeah.
Period.
Sorry. Yes, I do care more about a destination wedding than a marriage. And
yeah,
that's not on that.
That's not on that.
I also have been to a number of destination weddings, some as a photographer, and then I think 2 as a guest. So Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Bermuda,
That's
Italy, Anguilla, California, Florida. A lot of them were for work. I only went to 2 of those, I think, as a guest. So yeah, all over.
Yeah.
And I will say that, baby, I don't have one complaint about any of them, and I do them all again.
That's amazing.
I love destination weddings. Like, with
not
a
one
passion.
Complaint.
I mean, what would a complaint be? Like, no, I really, like, I came home from all of them, and I'm like, that is the most fun I've ever had, and I cannot wait to do that with my family and friends. It is so fun. But I will say all the people that I was with or photographing are wonderful, like amazing, down to earth people that are easygoing but still care about weddings. Like, so I feel like when it comes to destination weddings, you gotta be a bride chilla.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, should we get into it?
Yes!
Yay! Okay, so for this episode, Rebecca found a few stories, and one of them happened to be one of the ones that I picked.
Yay.
So should we flip on and off for the first few?
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. Am I the asshole for selling a family heirloom to pay for my destination wedding? My fiance, 38 female, and I, 39 male, are planning to get married this summer. We both want to have quite a lavish wedding at a winery in another state. The two of us agree that it's the most important occasion in our lives, so we should make it as memorable as possible. We both have stable jobs and a good amount of savings, but it's not quite enough for the admittedly ambitious plans we have in our head. My father passed away in January, and in his will, he left me a very valuable, think 5 figures, family heirloom. I'm not much for big family traditions, so although it's a nice thing to have, I'm not massively attached to it. I have plenty of other good memories of my father, and I don't need a fancy heirloom to remember him by. My brother, 34 male, however, is a huge history nerd and is really, really attached to it. He's very upset by my father's decision in the will. The reason it went to me and not him is that this has been traditionally passed to firstborn sons. My fiance and I don't plan to have children, and I think he assumed, therefore, that he or his children would be in line to get it if I were to pass away. After some discussion, my wife-to-be and I decided that we would like to sell the heirloom to pay for our wedding. My brother, who is also my best man, was furious when he found out, and he said he wanted nothing to do with the wedding anymore. He thinks my wife-to-be and I are behaving like spoiled brats. In addition, he's convinced my uncle and cousins to not come to the wedding either. With our parents having passed away, this means that virtually none of my family will attend the wedding, which I'm really upset about. I think since I legally inherited the heirloom, I can do what I want with it. I think he's just upset because I ruined his expectations of one day inheriting it, but since my uncle and cousins agree with him enough that they're not coming to the wedding, I'm not sure I'm in the right. Am I the asshole?
Does your brother know how expensive weddings are? Period.
I think I have. I don't know. Tell me what you think.
Well, when she said 5 figures, it's like, is that 10 grand or is that 95 grand? You know, that's what I would like to know.
Okay.
Because I think if it's less than 30 grand, you shouldn't sell it. But if it's more, you should.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say the opposite.
Wait, why?
Because I feel like typically things like that go up in value. So something is already worth $95,000. Like, that is an insane amount of money, especially for one object. And like, what's an object that's worth an antique or an heirloom like that that's worth $95,000 today that in like 20 years will not be worth more?
But I guess I'm thinking, what's a price that justifies selling it to pay for the wedding? Because it like,
okay,
if it's less than 30 grand, honestly, in today's world, would that even pay for the whole wedding? Like, I guess I'm thinking if it pays for your whole wedding, then you're a little more justified.
See, I feel like if it's that valuable, it's only going to go up in value. And then that money later on in life could go to so many more good things. Like, it could go to the brother's kids, like college funds, or like setting them up for their first down payment on a house, or like something like that.
Okay.
And I feel like to use something that's that valuable just to pay for a wedding, it's like, weddings are great. Like, you know, I love them and I have dreams for an amazing wedding as well. But I can't imagine selling a family item that's worth that much. Like, I almost feel like if it was $10,000, like, sure, that's not going to pay for a whole wedding, but $10,000, while it is a lot of money, it's not like an unattainable amount of money.
Yeah.
For someone that like spends their, sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay.
For someone that spends their life like loving antiques. So this is where I'm going with that. Like, if the brother loves history and like loves antiques, and let's say he's a collector, for him to spend his life like acquiring a $10,000 item, it's possible that he'll be able to buy that. It's very unlikely that he would be able to buy something for $95,000, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if it's that much. So in that case, it's like the only place your brother is going to get this from is you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it was a lower amount of money, maybe he could get it for himself in another way, I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know if that even makes sense, but in my mind, I'm justifying that in that way.
That she doesn't sell it.
Yeah. Like, if it's worth that much money, I don't think you should sell it for a wedding. But if it's only like $10,000, it's like, yes, $10,000 is a lot of money, but it's not like, I don't know how to describe this.
I guess I need more info on the wedding then. Like, is she in such a pinch that she can't figure out a way to pay for it herself at all? And that's why she's like leaning so heavily on this? Because then I do kind of feel bad. But this is where it just becomes more of a wedding conversation, because maybe you just need a smaller wedding within your budget without the heirloom. Like, don't even like consider that a possibility.
Totally. Yeah, it's like, think about the wedding that you'd be able to have if you didn't sell it, and maybe that's just the wedding you should probably have.
So it's like more of a mindset shift.
Right.
For her.
I think OP is a guy.
Oh,
but it's okay.
Yes. Okay. My bad.
It's okay. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but
same idea regardless of the gender.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, interesting.
I think it is a little bit selfish. Well,
we're struggling with this one.
I know. This is how I would be with my sister. Me and my sister are very close. She does so much for me. It's not that I owe her something, but I'm like, yeah, I do owe her something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if my parents gave me an insanely expensive item that meant a lot to one or both of us, I think I would consult her beforehand and be like, hey, I'm thinking about selling. I'll use my dad. My dad has a vintage car. It's something that my sister and I grew up with, and it's so sentimental to us. And if my dad passed it to one of us in a will, I just know for a fact neither of us would sell it without consulting the other.
Yeah.
And if it was willed to me, I would not be selling it and then keeping all the money. If anything, even though it's technically mine, I would be selling it and splitting the money, or being like, what can we do together? Like, what family vacation can we go on with our families now and have an experience together with this money? I highly doubt I'd be using the full sum to pay for my wedding.
Yeah.
Or if anything, I'd be like, I'm going to use it to pay for my wedding. I'll pay your and your whole family's way and cover every single cost of yours, or something.
True.
Because it's like, yes, it's yours, but like, truly it's your family's.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I do feel like he's an asshole for selling it without even thinking about his brother.
Was there an update? Did he sell it? Because I do think that is right. Like, he would be in the wrong to just go ahead and do that.
Oh my God, I don't know how to... I'm really not that good at Reddit, so I don't know how to search for an update. Oh, I guess I can look on his account.
Or was it recent? Maybe there isn't one.
It was 41 days ago. I think he only has one post because it's a throwaway.
No. Okay, well...
I don't think there's an update. This is so sad. I hope the update is he didn't sell it, honestly.
And I think the other brother's also in the wrong, though, for how he's reacting, because telling your cousin to not go and, like, boycotting the wedding, I'm like, can't you both come to the table and have a mature conversation before you're, like, getting family members to not go to the wedding?
Yeah, you're right. Like, the brother's just like, everyone be on my side. Don't go. That's a lot.
People just go right to, like, the extreme without even trying to communicate.
I do, though, feel that while the family members are saying they're not going to go, when it comes down to it, are they actually not going to go? Like, I saw this in a situation in my life where something happened and then people are like, if that's going to be how it is, I'm not going to go to their wedding. And I'm like... Their wedding isn't going to be for a year and a half. You're going to forget about this in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
facts.
Be so for real.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no way that you're not going to go to this wedding because of this one little thing.
Yeah.
Like, and we all know this.
We all know
we don't
it,
have
sister.
To be so dramatic. So, yeah, if you ask those family members on that day, are you going to go to this person's wedding? They'd be like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
As soon as that invitation comes in the mail, they're sending the RCP yes. Like, come on. You're
come
going to go to your family member's wedding.
Right.
But,
okay, that's true.
So I wonder, like, will these family members actually not go? Or is it just the idea of not going? That they're like, yeah, you know what? If he sells it, I won't go.
Yeah.
And then he's going to sell it. Nobody's even going to know. They're going to have the wedding. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, we did say that. Well, now I get to go to Italy for a vacation and have a party. So I'm going to go.
Yep.
And yeah, it was annoying that he sold it. But, like, I'm going to go to his wedding.
Right.
That's just how I feel like most people would be.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't ruin the brotherly bond.
Yeah.
Let's get it together, boys.
That's so true. The overall vote was asshole.
Yeah.
The top comment is, yes, the asshole. If you sell the item, don't be surprised if it ruins your relationship with your brother forever. All for what? So you can brag about your wedding to friends while looking at pictures that don't include anyone on your side of the family. Period. That's so true.
That was such a...
Nailed it. Also, OP, I have so many better days in my marriage than my wedding day, and a lot of them were free.
Oof.
That's such a good point.
Points were made in those comments.
The second top comment, and this is kind of how I see it, is technically you can sell it because it's yours, but yes, the asshole for caring more about a ridiculously lavish wedding that will break the bank than you do about your relationship with your brother or your dad's tradition. If your dad had known that you were going to sell it, he would have left it to your brother. Yeah. I hope your lavish wedding is worth it to you. I kind of feel the same way because it's like, yeah, you can sell it.
Yeah.
But like, just think deeper into it.
Right. Zoom out of your life a little, you know?
Yes. Zoom out. It's a great point.
So are we saying asshole?
I'm saying asshole.
Okay. Period.
Do you want to read one of yours?
Oh my God, I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be
shy.
nervous. But if you click your mouth or if you breathe too loud, just know that you're never coming back.
I think I've clicked a few times, but now I'm aware of it.
Have you clicked?
I just did.
Which one do you want to do first? The Disney one?
Yeah. Oh my God, can I?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Disney adults are crazy on these streets.
We're about to talk about Disney adults, but I have to preface this by saying I low-key think I'm a Disney adult. Shit.
You're like dead in the eyes right now. I think I'm a Disney adult.
Here's why. Growing up, I loved Disney, just like almost everyone else. And my parents did pins for my sister and I. So we grew up collecting those like enamel pins. Mm-hmm. They're so pretty, actually. And a lot of them are really cool.
Aww.
So we would get them everywhere we would go. But we got them at Disney, like out the ass. And I was thinking about them recently because my mom wanted to go to the Franklin Institute is having a Disney exhibit currently. You're going in August, right?
Possibly. It's up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
My family wanted to go, so we did. And it was actually so cool. And I don't think about Disney that often, but then when I do think about it, I'm like, oh my God, like Moana, like Ariel, Alice in Wonderland. Like, I just love it.
Yeah.
And it brings back so many memories. So while I won't be wearing Mickey ears anywhere on earth other than maybe in the Magic Kingdom, I do love Disney and I get why people are so obsessed with it. And I was thinking about my pins while I was at the exhibit and I'm like, I'm going to go and like put them. They were on this like old bulletin board that was like in a corner facing a wall.
Yeah.
So I put them on little bulletin boards and I'm going to hang them on the wall and it's like white. The boards are white and it's aesthetic.
Cute. That's not like some of these people out here are freaking weird. Sorry.
That's probably true.
I'm judgy in the morning.
I don't know. I was like, you know what? Disney is cool. It's nostalgic. Like, why not like it? Whatever. I do get that it's like some people are to an extent where it's like, okay, it's a fake mouse. Yeah. But people are crazy about anything.
It's a fake mouse.
I'm crazy about Twilight. Well, not that crazy.
There's just a difference. Like, I knew a Disney adult at some point in my life. I'm being really vague, but this person was like a Disney adult. Okay. There's a different, like, trust me, there's a difference. And it's just a level of, like, slightly odd behavior. I'm sorry. Like, for a grown adult.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. I'm really trying to not hate on people because if, like, there's a Disney adult listening, it's like, I don't know. It's like, do your thing. But I do see where you're coming from. But we're allowed to have opinion. No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you're right.
I'm not, like...
You're right.
Judging to an extent where I don't know. Maybe I am. But I like Disney, like, full disclosure. I have a Disney Plus account.
Yeah.
I would go to Disney and wear the ears.
She's going to the exhibit.
Fully immerse myself in the Disney experience. I just think it's like when you start having a whole living room themed over Mickey Mouse and you're like lining outside to see the new Pinocchio movie and you're 35 years old, I think we're allowed to say that you're a little odd.
Okay. I definitely see it when it comes to being in a house. Like if your house, not just like your office, but like your whole entire house is like Disney themed.
Yes.
I could see, that being weird.
Yeah. Which leads us into the story. This one's actually kind of like, it's not an obvious, am I the asshole or not, I think.
Okay.
You know?
Ooh, fun.
Am I the asshole for not removing the Disney items from my house? Well, we just talked about. Okay. My 35 female husband, 38 male, and I are what you would call Disney adults. We used to work for the parks in college and we met there. For us, it has sentimental value as well as being something we both loved from childhood. Now we are conscious. I just clicked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. No.
Okay.
I'll hear it in the recording though. Just kidding.
Now we are conscious to not be those Disney adults. See, like those versus
they're judging other Disney adults.
We can hold conversations outside the movies and parks. We both work well-paying jobs unrelated to the company. We have other hobbies and interests, and our son isn't big on Disney, and we're cool with that. It's just something that we enjoy as well as our daughters. We nurture all of our children's hobbies and interests. Okay. We also don't blow all our money on this stuff. I know I may sound overly defensive, but we get a lot of comments from people who don't know us well. Anyway, we live in a renovated farmhouse on a bit of a land that includes a barn that we finished off with hopes to make it a guest house one day. In the meanwhile, we've had a relative get married here and it was gorgeous. Now, my sister, 28 female, wants to get married on our property and we were all for it. Everything's been planned for months and the wedding is in June. It's set to be outside completely, but if it rains, we can move the party into the barn. The only reason a guest would have to go in our house is to use the bathroom. We have 2 on the first floor. The only Disney items are Winnie the Pooh hand towels. I'm sorry. Like, why Winnie the Pooh? Okay, I'm being judgy. I'm sorry. I told my sister I'd replace them with regular ones. I don't know if I could read this straight. Wedding space has no Disney items. However, she wants me to take down everything Disney on the first floor, as guests will see. We have a lot of Disney items, including pictures, paintings, blankets, Funko Pops, decorations, figurines, dishware, etc., all made for adults, and a lot of it is subtle or vintage, but you can still tell it's Disney. 1, this would be a massive undertaking. It's not as simple as shoving stuff in a closet. We'd have to pack it up and find a place to store it. The sheer amount would require at least 2 hours of packing, not to mention storage and unpacking afterwards. 2, it's ridiculous to me. Who cares if people see? She says it looks tacky and she doesn't want people remembering her wedding for that. I told her no. We're decorating the outside and barn as she wants. We're letting her use our property for free, which she keeps bragging about to friends as it's saving them a ton. When my husband and I stood firm, she whined to our parents who told us to grow up and take it down. Me.
Wow. Okay, go first.
Clearly, I couldn't even read that with a straight face, so I just feel like... Okay, but here's where she kind of pulled me in her direction when she said it's subtle and vintage. I didn't read that far when I sent this to you, because I've seen, like, cool vintage Disney stuff or, like, cool vintage Harry Potter stuff. Yeah. Whatever it is, like, there are some that exist, and I agree it's subtle. It's not, like, Mickey's face on a giant poster board in your living room, but I'm trying to think how both sides could win, where... Is there a way the guests don't have to even go in the house?
Yeah, you rent a bathroom and put it outside. They shouldn't even be going into the house regardless.
I was gonna say, like, because my sister got married at my brother's house and he has like 2 bathrooms in his house and we had a small-ish wedding, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, we obviously rented bathrooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of have to because otherwise your plumbing is like fricked.
Yeah.
Like
and
that.
So many people.
So many people.
Also, I know this is really not typical and this is me like thinking worst case scenario, but weddings are almost like a public event.
Yeah.
So if someone was driving down the street and they saw a wedding, anyone can enter a wedding and like kind of blend in.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a number of people where maybe the bride and groom don't know everyone, or there's like plus ones, anyone can enter your house. Like, I'm just thinking of this one wedding that I photographed. It was in a backyard under a tent, and every single door of the house was locked. There was no guests allowed in the house.
Yeah.
And they had bathrooms outside, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, because that's true. It's people are in and out of the bathroom every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, someone always has to go.
Yeah.
So just get the bathrooms. It's not going to break the bank.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to take down all of your Disney stuff.
I think for OP, regardless, if she's hosting weddings at her house, she should just be like, if you're having it for free, the only thing you're paying for is bathrooms outside, because nobody should be entering a home, especially like, even if it's 20, 30, 50, 100 drunk people in a house. Like, I think that's the solution overall. But let's say that all the rental companies are booked and that's not an option. Then the sister should be either paying OP to do this, or paying someone else, pay a cleaning person or a professional mover to go in the house, pack it all up. She absolutely should not be telling her sister to redesign her whole entire house for one day. And if you don't like the guests seeing that kind of decor, either figure out a different place for the guests to go, or don't have your wedding there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have your wedding here.
That's true. That's true. I thought this was going to be a harder one to figure out, but that's all valid. I agree.
Okay, let's raise the stakes. Let's say the sister, the bride, is offering to pay her, and OP is refusing to have outside bathrooms because she doesn't want them to like ruin the grass or something.
Then then I think you still have to take them down.
I would think no. I just kind of think that it's her house and she can do whatever she wants.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, I guess for pictures, you're not going to be in the house at all.
Right.
So like her saying it's going to ruin the wedding look, and like I don't want people remembering my wedding for that. No one is going to do that. Especially if the bathroom, a typical house is like you walk in, living room is like maybe to the left, bathroom is down a hallway. Are people going to be staring at the living room being like, look at all this Disney memorabilia?
Yeah.
They're just going to go to the bathroom and get out of the house, you know?
Yeah.
So in terms of aesthetics, like I just don't think anyone's going to recall like the subtle Mickey Mouse poster in the corner.
I think she's not the asshole.
Yeah. Now I've changed my mind just based on that scenario.
The evidence.
The evidentiary support.
I think go off. I feel like if you're trying to bring it into anywhere else, it's like, sure, it's not your day. This is her own home. Like, go off in your own home.
As long as she changes the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. And you don't want 100 people using your bath towels anyway.
Yeah.
Get like ones that are going to be used for one day.
Yeah.
That either can be used as rags after, or like wedding guests, the amount of times that people go to the bathroom over the course of like 5 hours. Multiplied by the amount of guests there are, like, your towels are going to get ruined.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, there's Winnie the Pooh on them. Please. Sorry. That's Winnie the last one. I was not a Winnie the Pooh child. Can you tell?
I don't think I was either. The top comment, not the asshole, tell her to rent portable bathrooms. Problem solved. No reason for anyone to go in the house.
That really is problem solved.
Tell her inside of your house is now off limits and she can rent a porta potty.
Okay, don't rent a...
Well, technically they are porta potties.
Right, but...
They're not like the typical one, though. They're like a little bit nicer. Yeah. Tell your sister she can go ahead and pick another venue. Your parents are assholes for siding with a brat. I forgot her parents sided with her.
I know. It makes you think. It makes you think.
Especially as an adult. Like, if I was doing something right now, or not that I'm not an adult, but like someone with a whole ass family and kids that aren't just like babies, like how are her parents being like, yeah, do it. Rearrange your whole house. It's like, don't tell me what to do. I have my whole own life with a family.
Right. That's valid.
That's crazy. Not the asshole. Okay, let's talk about a bridezilla. Another one.
Am
I the asshole? My friend expects us to subsidize her $500,000 destination wedding in Sicily. My closest friend is getting married in Taormina, Sicily, this August, less than 1 year's notice for the wedding, and I was asked to be a bridesmaid. I am starting to feel unappreciated. They are very well off. She doesn't work currently. I and a few other bridesmaids are coming from Canada and guests from all around the world. My friend is Canadian, but currently living in London, where she met her fiance. 200 people have been invited. My little sister was uninvited because they had to cut down the guest list. Her fiance will not let her invite the standard 10 to 15% more than they have room for. They chose a 5-star hotel for the venue. I believed they would be taking care of lodging paying for the bridal party because of the extravagance and location. I feel like that's not typical.
Taking care of people?
Like paying for the lodging for the entire bridal party?
I don't know. A little part of it.
Was yours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like we only had to pay $150 a person for 3 days and the rest was taken care of. And I don't know what that amount was.
Maybe that is typical. I just didn't expect that. Was it a house that you guys stayed in or a hotel?
A villa. So like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they pay for everyone.
The first destination wedding I ever went to, I wasn't as close with the girl at the time. I was getting closer with her. So I was kind of like a last minute add-on a few months before. And someone happened to not be able to go in the bridal party. So I stayed in the villas with the bridal party.
Yeah.
And thinking back, I just assumed that everyone paid for that. But now I'm like, the couple probably did pay for that or a majority of it. Okay, so maybe that is fair.
Yeah.
Okay. They said the hotel wanted to charge them extra to book the whole space, so we were instructed to book/pay for our own rooms ourselves from Thursday to Monday. I found out that there will be a Shabbat dinner the Friday eve, but the bridal party is not invited because there is not enough space. The chef will only cater to 50 people. I brought up that this felt rude and unappreciative to the bride, and she understood and said her fiance did not think it was important for us to attend.
Wait, what?
What?
You're like the most important people to attend.
Yeah.
Guy sounds like a...
Yeah, I think this is a groomzilla. She discussed this with him again, and his response was, don't they know how expensive these dinners are? We're already providing a rehearsal dinner.
So it's like a welcome dinner.
So is it different? It might not really be that. It might just be like a private, because the Shabbat obviously is a religious thing. So is it just for their immediate family? And then in addition to that, there is a welcome party and a rehearsal dinner? Because if that's the case, I feel like that's kind of fair.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is in place of the rehearsal, or well, obviously it's not, if it's replacing something else, maybe that's weird, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'm confused. The way she's writing it makes it sound like it's kind of a bad thing that they weren't invited.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. She definitely thinks it's a bad thing. But like, if you have a destination wedding, are you not allowed to do any dinner with just your parents, I guess? Because like, let's say, oh, okay, people are arriving Thursday. Let's say welcome party, rehearsal dinner is Thursday. Friday is like kind of a free day. And then Saturday is the wedding.
But
I mean, they are in the bridal party though, so that's different.
But then the Friday would be the rehearsal dinner.
Sometimes people have it 2 days in advance.
So Thursday?
Yeah. So
Okay.
It could be like the bridal party goes and does the rehearsal, and then everyone's invited to the party after.
Maybe.
Interesting. Okay. The bride later said that her fiance and his family, he is British, Swedish, and German, don't do rehearsal dinners. It is not part of European culture. Even if it is not part of his culture, it is hers. Also, this is a destination wedding where guests have to fly in early. Would you not provide a dinner for them? She then posted that hair and makeup are available for $200, but not provided for. She was requesting we all wear gold jewelry and shoes. Were your hair and makeup paid for? Damn, your girl
I know.
did it right.
I know. She was nice.
She does not have an itinerary or any other events planned for the bridal party during the 5 days. This wedding will cost between $5,000 and $8,000 Canada dollars, along with 1 week time off work unpaid. She does not think she should have to provide anything for the bridal party except the wedding day, and that the rehearsal dinner is a gift. The bride and groom do not feel it necessary to make the bridal party and guests feel appreciated and give back. They are also going on a $50,000 safari for part of their honeymoon. Holy shit. I have been heavily involved in the wedding planning and planned out the whole bachelorette. Her sister is the maid of honor, but avoiding duties. I have no problem with this until she expressed that one of her friends said that the bachelorette location is dirty and untasteful. She relayed this to me after I already planned out the trip. I told her this made me feel unappreciated, but at the end of the day, it is her wedding and she should do what makes her happy. She did apologize and recognized how that had come across. Am I the asshole? My friends and family are telling me not to go.
Yeah. Because
Damn.
Didn't she say at the beginning they got less than a year's notice?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Okay,
That's insane.
I'm all for destination weddings. I would never do one where people had to pay between $5,000 and $8,000. That's money that most people do not have.
No.
Especially do not have to go to someone else's wedding.
Yeah, like they might have it in savings, but why should they get that out for you?
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Like, that's ridiculous.
I would think most people are not even taking family vacations that cost $8,000.
Absolutely not.
That's crazy.
I would have said no up front. Like, if someone told me me in January, let's say, hey, destination wedding in Italy in August, I'd be like, no, that's 6 months from now.
Oh, I wouldn't think that. I mean, if it was one of my close friends, I'd be like, oh, that's wild, girl, but like, I'll try. But I have a very flexible job. I love traveling. And because I'm a photographer, if I really wanted to, I could possibly turn the trip into a work trip if I like really tried and like was really strategic. So I am like biased in thinking that.
Okay, maybe not January, but like I think there's just a cutoff time where you have to be like reasonable.
Right.
And these people just do not sound like they're in touch at all. Because it's like time off, one thing. Money, obviously, is like the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like flights right now are just insane.
Yeah.
No matter where you go. I don't know. I think that's really messed up. And can I say like a hot take too that might offend some people?
Say it. Scorch us.
I feel like rich people to this level of rich are always like not always, but I've had experiences where they're the cheapest people. And I'm just like, I had this friend who I'm not that close with anymore, but like she out of our friend group, like the cheapest person at any dinner, at any event, any like transportation thing, like, and I'm like, girly, like you make the most money out of all of us and you come from money, like why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
And it just has always blown my mind.
I know,
because I'm like, if I came into money like that, I'd be like, all right, like I'm treating everyone to this villa, everyone to this dinner, like who wants to go on a safari with us? It's on me.
I feel like something about destination weddings that maybe not everyone gets to experience, but like the best part isn't even the wedding day. It's all the time that you get to spend with literally everyone you love for so much time, like leading up to the wedding. Because if you think about it, like this is really why I want to have a destination wedding. What other time in your life could you convince almost every single person that you love to go on a vacation for a week or 5 days together, stay at the same place, do the same activities, and spend that much time together?
I know.
That is so rare.
Yeah.
And even if you have a destination wedding, sadly, it's likely that not everyone's going to be able to go. But all the ones that I've experienced, it's like everyone's best friends and their family, and everyone is so excited and they're just so excited to be there, and you're having so much fun. And then the wedding day is almost just like the icing on the cake, you know? But the days leading up to it are just as fun.
Totally.
And every wedding that I've gone to, they have planned out parties, dinners, activities, excursions, like things that people are welcome to go to.
Yeah. It's
and
so fun.
Even if like every excursion isn't paid for, the whole thing is planned out and it's like everything's done. All you have to do is Venmo the like $75 for zip lining or like something like that, which I think is fair.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's an optional thing. But then I've also seen brides be like, oh, well, this excursion got canceled, so we just booked a boat for everyone and we paid for it. And I'm like, that is so nice. And everyone appreciates that.
Because it's like vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a normal wedding, it's one day, but a destination, it's like you said, 4 days.
Yeah.
And you like you're in a vacation mindset.
Yeah.
So everyone's just happier.
Exactly. And then so for this couple to be like, yeah, you have to fly here, but we're not going to do anything for you outside of the wedding day.
Yeah.
And it's like, then why even have it there?
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to make use of like being in this amazing place and spending this time with your family, you either should have eloped or just got married at home and had a one-day event.
Yep, totally.
I feel like they're just doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would say I'm not going, but I would definitely drop the budget back and be like, I cannot spend $8,000 on a 5-day
Even
trip.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's insane to ask someone that. So should you just not go? I don't know. Do you want to go to Italy? Like maybe be like, I'll go to your wedding, but I'm going to stay at a different resort. I'm going to take the train in on the day of and go back to the vacation that I want to take after the wedding wraps up. And if you're not okay with that, then sorry.
Yep.
Like be not okay with it.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, that's bad.
That's
but
crazy.
it does sound like what you said. It's Groomzilla for sure.
Yeah. It seems like the bride wanted to do these things and the groom's like, well, we can't.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, okay. And
that's not my culture. It's like, it's not your culture to have a rehearsal dinner.
Right.
It's not like that's that groundbreaking. It's just dinner.
And at that point, it's yours, the couple's culture. Like you're getting married. You have to merge these things.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand people sometimes.
Crazy. Not the asshole.
Bam.
Overall vote was also not the asshole.
Okay, good. I really want us to talk about, though, Bachelorettes. Maybe that could be a discussion.
Jimmy and I talked about doing a Bachelorette episode, but there is so much drama that we can definitely do 2 episodes.
Yeah, because that's like where I think I saw the comment in that one, and that's why I sent it. But like, that's really what's getting out of hand is like people expect you to fly to like crazy locations and like do something crazy for the wedding.
Yeah.
You got to pick one or the other.
I think that it would be fine to, because just to be honest, like there are some friend groups where everyone in the friend group makes a lot of money and they all like traveling. So for example, someone that I know had a destination bachelorette and a destination wedding. Mm-hmm. And all her friends were so... Actually, I know multiple people like this, but I'm specifically thinking of one. And I think their original idea for a bachelorette got canceled because of COVID, but they still flew somewhere and did like the boats, the like private dinners, the wine tastings, like everything. But all her friends were like there for it.
Interesting.
And TBH, if I could afford to do all that for all my friends, I would be like, why not go on a vacation together?
Yes, but like, not to get too off topic, I just think just because someone makes a lot of money doesn't mean they have a lot of money. I've been hearing these crazy stories of people who make like 150 grand a year and they're in like insane credit card debt. But I mean, that's a little extreme of an example. I'm just saying, like,
I do feel like though that's a choice and like you're not being forced to go on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, like if everyone's down, that's different. But like sometimes I feel like brides can get a little entitled with those things.
I know. No, it definitely is getting out of hand. I just am really curious to see how I will act when I actually am at that phase in life.
But do you think you would have people do both? Like go somewhere, like go to an island for your bachelorette and then fly somewhere in Europe for your wedding?
I think if my 5 closest friends were down and it wasn't going to break the bank and everyone wanted to go on vacation anyway, I would be like, let's just like use my bachelorette as the excuse and we can do like, because I also don't really understand the whole like, I don't need a trip that's 5 days where every day I wear white and all the other girls wear like a different color and then it's all about me and like my husband's face on a stick like every single day. I'm like, I'll do that once. Like I don't need that every day, at least not right now. So I'm like, sure, let's do one party on a vacation and then let's just have a vacation where like it's for all of us. I would like to think I would do that.
Like more of a girls trip.
Exactly. Where it's like, oh, we want to go to Tulum anyway.
So Tulum would be
right?
sick.
Like I feel like I could get 5 girls to go on a trip right now. My sister goes on trips for her birthday and everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people want to go. You know, and they're not these crazy trips and like we do it on a budget because basically everyone needs to do it on a budget and it always works out and it's fun.
That's true.
And it's also not about her every day. Like yes, we do one thing that's like a party for her birthday, but then we're all having fun. We're all on vacation. It's about everyone too.
I just think it's hard though, like when you say you're on a budget and then you actually get there and you're like, are you really on a budget?
Okay, you're right. I agree. I'll say budget for like where you stay and hotels. Because if you're not balling out on those things, that's an opportunity to save a few $100s at least. And then yes, when you get there, you're right. Everyone, that's the vacation thing.
I know.
Like when you're on vacation, you're like, I don't care. I'm buying the pina colada for $25. And again, and again, and again. And it's like, okay, we can say we're going to save money, but like when we get there, no one's worried about money. Even though you probably should be. Like,
I know. That's where I just get like a little, I don't know, worried, I guess. But hopefully by that point in my life, I won't care.
That's another goal of mine. It's like, oh, will you ask people to fly? I would love to be able to be like, yeah, fly for me, but I'll pay for the hotels. Like I'll pay for like all of this stuff and it's a treat. I would love, it's a little treat. I would love to be able to do that.
Same.
Who knows if it's actually going to happen?
It will, because we're saying it.
And
we believe it. I did see this little snippet of the Call Her Daddy episode with Shay Mitchell. And one thing she said about manifesting was like, saying it is not enough. You need to like believe it in your soul. Because she did that with acting. She was like, I was a bottle service girl and I acted like an actress and I knew I was going to become an actress. And she did.
I know I'm going to have millions and millions and millions of dollars and I'm going to give back with that money. And I'm going to have a baller destination wedding. And I'm going to take everyone to Tulum. And everyone who's listening is also invited.
And you believe it.
I'm going to start believing it. Let's go.
Let's go. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's wedding by wearing an attention whore outfit?
Ruining. Okay.
I, 23 female, and my husband, 24 male. Oh, they're young.
They're young.
We're invited to one of my close friends' wedding. This friend and I were besties since high school, and I'm incredibly grateful for her friendship. It was a destination wedding that took place in Italy. My friend had initially asked me to be a bridesmaid, but I had to turn it down because most of the wedding planning and other important events were going to be in Italy, and because I'm a resident doctor, I wouldn't be able to make the commitment. How are you already a resident at 23? Okay.
Oh.
Right?
Wow.
Interesting. My friend added me to a group chat of her and her bridesmaids though, so I could see the updates and join in for any event that I was free for. I still didn't think it would be nice for me to just go without having put in any of what should have been my share of responsibilities, so I never went for any of the events. When my friend sent the invites, she mentioned a dress code for us guests. It was full black, anything but dresses for women, and full black business casual for men.
That is so cool.
Anything but dresses.
That's like kind of cool.
Wait!
I don't think I would do that, but I'm like, that is such a cool idea.
And that'd be cool to photograph.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
So much like chic outfit. I mean, it would be really hard for people because not everyone has that, but...
Has a sense of style.
Yeah. No, but that would be so cool.
Wait, that's interesting. Okay. The only wedding appropriate outfit I had was straight leg, full length satin pants and a leather corset top.
You always do that pop when you read. I like it though. It's like your aesthetic.
That's so funny. Okay. I asked my friend, along with a picture of the fit, if it was okay to wear, and she felt uncomfortable with it.
Oh, she was asking if it was okay to wear, or do you feel uncomfortable with this?
Right. Okay. And if she felt uncomfortable with it, I'd get something else. My friend said it looks gorge, and quite frankly, I couldn't care less if you turned up butt naked as long as you came to the wedding. Please don't fret about the outfit too much. I miss you and just really wish for you to be there.
Queen.
I got the bride's approval, so that is what I wore to the wedding. My husband wore a turtleneck blazer and jeans.
Turtleneck, blazer, and jeans. That could be chic. That could be chic.
Okay, you're right.
In all black, and maybe the jeans are like well made, well designed. The turtleneck and a fitted blazer. Right. Okay.
Turtleneck, I was at first. Okay. The wedding went beautifully, and my friend and I reconnected after a long time. Then out of the blue, one cousin of the bride, 26 ? Male, came to me and said that my outfit was inappropriate and that I was ruining the wedding.
Oh, fuck you.
One of the bridesmaids came and in a very huffy tone agreed with him. I explained to them that I had gotten the bride's approval, so I didn't see the problem, and that there were other women dressed in dresses which broke the dress code, so I didn't see why they were only coming for me. They replied with a, yeah, but the bride is spending more time with you than them, so you're really ruining it with your attention whore outfit. Stop. All of the wedding photos are going to look so out of place because of you. My husband tried defending me, but they were adamant on blaming me, so I just borrowed my husband's blazer and wore it for the rest of the night. It didn't feel right to ask the bride about this, so I just left it. But I need to know if I'm the asshole.
Oh my god, no, absolutely. Okay, 2 queens.
About the dress code, just to clarify.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was the end.
Well, no, because she wrote like something about med school, which is irrelevant.
Oh, this is not it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So about the dress code, just to clarify, it said, and I quote, anything but dresses for women. So dresses were the only no, but everyone's clothes had to be black. I think my wording confused some of y'all. I think a better word for what I wore was bustier corset top.
Okay.
But like, okay, slay.
Yeah, literally slay. And 2 queens, because not only did she go out of her way to receive the bride's approval, the bride did approve and gave her like a resounding yes.
Yeah.
You can wear anything as long as you're there. That's all that needs to happen. And then when she was confronted by irrelevant people, she did even more to make the bride comfortable, even though she didn't have to. Yeah. She still put on the blazer.
I'm so confused at what other people were wearing then. Because in my head, I think I would wear like a really chic, sexy little pantsuit situation, like what she wore. Like,
wait, I wonder if this is them being like just misogynistic and like judgmental, because I'm wondering if she had like big boobs or something.
Oh.
And so she was showing cleavage, but like that's just her body.
Yeah, probably.
And it's like, if a person that was like just smaller chest in general wore the same outfit, would they think that?
Right.
Or is it just because she's a woman and she has boobs?
Probably.
Which is so... I kind of feel like that.
Do you know that trend going on TikTok right now of like, is it fashion or is it just Kendall Jenner?
Yes.
And it's so true.
Yes.
Because it looks like... How do I say this? Like, I don't know.
She is just pretty.
Yeah. But like, she is probably pretty too, you know? It's just like...
Yeah.
To the... Like you said, to the male gaze... It's like slutty because she probably has a chest versus like if he saw that on Kendall Jenner, it'd be like, oh, like she's, you know, chic.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
I low-key think they're just being so judgmental.
Yeah.
And also she probably just looked so good and slay in her outfit that they were jealous.
Yeah. Yep. Because I'm like, if I had that dress code, which is very unique and not everyone, you know, is a fashion girl, but I would never show up in a dress. If it said anything but a dress,
Yeah.
And then he was like, some other girls are in dresses or something. And I'm like, I don't know. You're mad at the wrong person here.
Yeah.
Period.
This is crazy. I think that the guests were out of line. Absolutely out of line.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is sad because the outfit sounds really cute.
And I loved the bride's response because that's something I would say. Like, show up butt naked. I do not care.
And the fact that on the wedding day, OP was like, she doesn't need to worry about my outfit on her wedding day.
Yeah.
And it's like, queen. That's one thing that I really try to keep in mind whenever I'm at a wedding. Like, if there's anything that is slightly going wrong or like whatever, the bride is kind of the last person you tell because they don't need to know about this random bullshit that can easily be fixed or something like that. So, damn, queens all around.
Oh, do you know who Hannah Berner is?
Yes.
She had her wedding, I think, 2 summers ago, and her dress code was like something funny, like dress hot or something.
I love that.
And like people wore, you know, dresses with cutouts and like short and like cleavage, and it just like, but in a classy way. And it looked so cool. How it wasn't like traditional wedding guest dress stuff going on. And I just like really loved that. I kind of want to do something like that. I
love this idea of the no. I don't know if I would actually do this. I think the no dresses thing would be where my mom would draw the line and be like, your aunts are gonna wear a dress.
Not the aunts.
And I'd be like, okay, you're right. But like maybe for my friends, I'd be like, guys, let's do it up.
Yeah, same.
Did that Kim Kardashian line. It's 2019. We need to step it up.
Because I love that trend right now of sheer dresses and then you wear like a black
that is cool
underwear set.
Yeah, but it's like high, it like covers a lot.
Yeah. I feel like that's really cool, but I wouldn't wear that to any wedding I have coming up. But like I feel like I would in my head think, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Actually, I wore a like bustier dress on New Year's Eve and I'm obsessed with it. It's a little, most of the torso area is see-through. So I get why it's like a lot, but when I was justifying buying it, I was like, could I wear this to my friend's wedding this year? And it's going to be in a church and it's not in the city. So I was like, it's kind of a lot to wear to that wedding. But then I asked my other friend who's getting married in a city. She's so chic. Good. She has like such a modern style and her wedding's going to be...
Who is this?
Nicole.
Oh, yeah. That's what
her wedding's going to be so pretty.
Yeah.
Or their wedding. I'm like, it's hers. Their wedding's going to be amazing. And I was like, can I wear this dress to your wedding? You can say no. And their wedding's not. It's like almost 2 years after I bought this dress. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. And it's like, who cares what you wear as long as the bride and groom. And obviously I'm going to ask her again.
Yeah.
If I actually want to wear it. But I'm like, if the bride says yes, everyone else can shut their little mouth.
Facts.
And freak off.
So yeah, not the asshole. Wear your whore outfit.
Not the asshole. The bride approved it. It was her wedding. The cousins' opinions don't matter. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Facts. Okay, should we do one more?
Sure. What time do you guys drink your morning coffee? Sound off.
As soon as I wake up.
Really?
Yeah. Do you not?
I feel like 2 hours after I wake up. Maybe 3.
Wow. You just have energy during that time?
Well, it takes me a while to actually wake up. So by the time I'm out of bed, I do scroll a lot. I need to not do that.
Okay.
Then I make breakfast and then I go to a coffee shop to get it. It's, like 3 hours later.
Wow. I will say one thing that I have going for me is I typically don't scroll my phone in bed in the morning on weekdays. Like on the weekends.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So typically my alarm will go off and I'm in pain because I'm so tired. I will immediately put on like a YouTube video or a podcast that something is like waking me up. Sometimes I sleep through the whole thing and I'm like, oh, I'll watch that later. That will wake me up and then I just eventually like will myself out of bed.
So when is your first scroll? Like midday?
It really depends on the day. TikTok, it could not be until like that night, or maybe it's like 3 p.m. or like if I need like a little break at like 11 a.m. or
3
something.
to 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5. It's typically 6 to 12. My TikTok scroll. Instagram could go either way. Yeah. Like if I posted something the day before that I'm like, oh, I need to go make sure there's no like hate comments. I might go on immediately, but I don't scroll. Okay. I just like make sure that I didn't accidentally like post something embarrassing in my sleep or like something like that. But I do feel like in general, Instagram especially has become so boring and unfulfilling for me that I almost like lack a desire to even go on it at all. Yeah. And I do go on it most days, but it's just not interesting. Like I rarely see something on Instagram that I'm like, wow, like it's just so fucking boring and like pointless. business.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't go on Instagram as much as I used to. TikTok, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be on TikTok. Yep. Actually, now that Reels are getting better on Instagram, I have been watching Reels on Instagram.
Just on your Explore page?
Yeah, they kind of come up in your normal feed and you just click on something that looks interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But TikTok is where my entertainment comes from.
Yeah.
And YouTube. I watch so many videos on YouTube, like random videos.
I love it.
And I go through phases. Like right now I'm in a Kardashians phase. So I've been watching all the Kardashian highlight videos that are like between 10 and 15 minutes.
I love it.
Yeah, they're so funny.
Yeah.
Entertaining. And it's like something I don't actually watch. Just like playing in the background.
Tim, stop taking pictures of yourself. Your sister's going to jail.
I love it. Oh my gosh, yesterday my earring fell off and I was like, oh my God, my earring fell off. And I was like, oh, my earring's gone. And the person I was with was like, what? And I was like,
you don't get it. Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about.
I want to use that as an Instagram caption.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to use, maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, but you don't.
Wait, when we have our...
Yes.
That would be...
She said launch party.
Oh, yeah. Public knowledge, I guess.
We've just been planning like a happy hour to celebrate the podcast, but sadly, I don't make money from this podcast. So I'm like, am I now going to spend like my full-time job not making money and then now pay thousands of dollars of a launch party? And then,
maybe next summer.
Yeah, I was talking to Rebecca and Jimmy and Aaron, and I'm like, but guys, can I have a launch party, but then be like, you guys have to pay for the open bar? I'm like, I can't do that. They're like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
And I'm like, can I?
I think you can. Why not?
Because I'm like, oh, come to my party. But then I'm like, oh, you also have to pay $35. Like, what?
People do that for birthdays. And I feel like...
But birthdays is different than like a business.
I guess.
I need sponsors. I hate to say, you guys, if I could get an ad on this podcast, I need to have an ad.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that because when I listen to podcasts, I'm like, oh, an ad. But it's like, if something is free, you need to pay for it in some way.
Yeah.
So you're either going to have to pay for a subscription for entertainment or you're going to have to watch ads.
Yeah.
So
I think it's fine.
I just want to warn people.
If anyone likes anything, or what do we really like?
That's what I want to do. I want to try to get ads for things that I believe in or have like a good message or things I actually use.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I would feel good promoting certain things.
That could be part of our brainstorming sesh.
True. Yay. Okay, let's do one more story.
Okay.
We're really thinking out loud on this episode.
I know.
Am I the asshole for choosing an adults-only hotel for our destination wedding? I'll be as succinct as possible. My newly engaged fiance and I are getting married in November in Mexico. We live in New York, but I am a second-generation immigrant, so we picked a destination wedding so my extended family could easily join without visa issues. We called today to tell my fiance's brother and sister-in-law that we're getting married in Mexico at an adults-only hotel. They have 2 kids, 11 and 4. Sister-in-law said she doesn't have anyone to watch the kids, so they can't come. We understood, but said since it's March and they have several months, maybe they can figure out a plan. She then added her work schedule couldn't allow it either. My fiance asked if his brother could still come as he really wanted his family there. Besides his brother, he only has a grandfather who is coming. And then sister-in-law said it would be inconsiderate that we picked a hotel that wouldn't allow her kids and her husband wouldn't take a trip internationally without them since they've never taken a family trip out of the country. The kids were in the background and could be heard yelling, "Let's all go to Mexico, I want to go." Then she abruptly got silent and hung up.
Oh.
I feel bad they can't join and briefly debated finding a new hotel, but I really like this hotel and we've already paid a deposit. Am I the asshole for not wanting to change hotels and stick to adults only, even though it means that my sister-in-law can't attend? Note that they are legally not married and just refer to her as sister-in-law. She always wanted to get married at a destination wedding, so my fiance thinks this is another reason she's getting grouchy towards us. We even offered to add them to the Airbnb that some of my family chose to stay at nearby so that the kids could come on vacation, but then it became about them missing out on the all-inclusive part. There was no pestering. We had a 5-minute conversation and tried to offer alternatives.
No, I don't think you're the asshole. Not if you went through all those hoops to try to get them to still come.
Wait, so true. So true.
Like her being like, well, now I'm missing out on the all-inclusive. It's like, okay, you're just looking for reasons to not go at this point.
Yeah. First thought, it's like, no, but it's also like she already paid the deposit and it's not as though parents never ever travel with other kids. Like, if you want to make it work, many people can make it work, especially because they're not infants. They're 11 and 4.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that totally is like another expense, like if they had to get a nanny or a babysitter or pay someone to take care of them. But I honestly feel like by the time your kids are 11 and 4, they may even have friends that they could stay with.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there was people in my grade school that if my mom was like, could Kelee please stay with you for a long weekend?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be like, yeah, sure.
For sure.
She was going to sleep over anyway. Like, that kind of thing.
Those are easy ages to figure out, in my opinion.
And I get it that not everyone can, but if you really wanted to try and then do your best to try to attend your sister-in-law's wedding and then you found out you couldn't go, it's fair. Then you're like, I'm sorry, like, we can't go.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but she like decided this mentally within a 5-minute phone conversation, and OP was offering her alternatives.
Yeah, I don't get that. I think maybe she was right when she was like, they want their own destination wedding.
Yeah.
So they're feeling a little jelly.
I could 100% see that.
I think that's probably the case.
Yeah.
Which really sucks that they're like putting a damper on yours because they can't have what they want, but it's not their problem.
Yeah. So true. It almost seems like, I don't know, it's like, well, we're not going to go because we've never taken a trip out of the country. So are you never going to go on an international trip just because you've never gone on an international trip?
Yeah,
like, there's a first time for everyone.
Right. I don't get it.
That's so odd.
So odd. It further reiterates her point that people are psychos when it comes to weddings.
I know.
It brings out an interesting side to people.
And I get that people get jealous. Like, if I wanted to have a destination wedding and for some reason I couldn't have one, but then my sister-in-law was having one, of course I'd be jealous, but like, I feel like there's a way to be jealous without having to take away from your friend.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't even think jealousy is like that bad of a thing if you don't want to take it from them.
Correct.
It's like, be jealous. Be a little bit jealous that your sister's getting the wedding and you haven't had yours yet.
Yeah.
But does that mean you have to make her experience worse? Like,
right.
No. And you can admit that to her. You can literally be like, damn, I'm jealous. Like, I can't wait to do this for myself. And you're still going to try to figure out a way to make hers great.
Yeah.
Like, there can be both at the same time.
Both can definitely happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the sister-in-law is just jealous in a way that's making her spiteful.
I think she's the asshole.
Totally.
Not you.
The overall vote on this was asshole.
What?
It might have been before some of the edits where she was like, we did offer them alternatives.
Okay.
Overall, the vote was asshole, although the top comment is not the asshole. Have the wedding you want, but when you have a child-free destination wedding, then you have to accept that some people won't come. It's not petty. It's not jealousy. A child-free destination wedding is a huge thing to ask. It is not easy to get someone to take care of 2 kids that long. I agree that that is true. Sometimes people aren't able to go, and it's not because of pettiness, and it's not because of jealousy. This situation almost seems like it is, though.
Right. I was going to say, yeah, it's not petty. It's not jealousy. But like she was saying in her post, it is because of that.
Yeah.
So
or
like
she's speculating it is, but it's like when you're acting like that for 5 minutes on the phone.
Yeah.
No one who genuinely wants to go is making that decision within 5 minutes on the phone.
Yeah, right.
While their kids are begging them to go. And while they're being offered alternatives.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hotel, Airbnb right next door that is able to have your kids and your whole family.
Period.
Like, she's doing it to herself.
Yeah, she is.
I think OP's not the asshole. I disagree with the overall vote.
Same. We love being contrarians on this couch.
Yeah. That was so fun.
Sorry, I played with this a lot. If you're watching this,
That's okay.
I'm a fidgety gal. Like
take it or leave it. Everyone hating. No, we're just like doing what. Wait, side note. Okay, this is our outro now.
Okay.
I watched Bama Rush, and I halfway watched it while not paying attention to it, so I could have a wrong take on this.
Okay.
But it almost seemed like they picked people that weren't even that stoked on it, and then the whole time they were like, "But what if this happens? And then what if this happens when I go?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, all of this is just speculation, and like none of this has actually happened yet.
I only watched probably half an hour or maybe even less because I heard it got really bad reviews.
Yeah.
Because the trailer made it sound like it was going to really dive into the sorority life in Alabama. And it just, the beginning, I was like, wait, this is like weird now.
Yeah, I will admit that I wasn't paying attention because I was working on my computer during the first part of it. But from my like half paying attention and then like the second half, it almost seemed like they picked girls that were not involved in it whatsoever and had no experience in it.
Yeah.
But had preconceived notions of what it is.
Yeah.
And then you thought that they were going to be spies almost, which I agree is unethical.
Yeah.
Like spying on these girls and recording them without their knowledge, but that's not even the basis of the documentary.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only reason it got hype is because of that rumor.
Yeah.
But that rumor is not true, and they clarified that. So it's
Right.
like, then what is this about, I guess?
I saw this tweet that was like, what about exposing this? It listed all of these bullet points that actually happened or something
Yeah.
on the campus at that time. And it just completely like missed the mark. I'm like, how do you miss the mark that bad? You had one shot to get in there with your silly little camera.
Oh, but do you think that's unethical?
But like, if you're gonna, I just think it's a marketing mistake then to market that documentary the way it was, where it's had so much hype.
Right, but it had hype because of a fake rumor, like a false rumor.
Oh.
So on TikTok, like a year ago, there were rumors that HBO was like planting 20 girls, or like basically going to Alabama students and being like, we will pay you to rush and then tell us what it's like and wear this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that was the rumor.
Oh.
So then all over TikTok, people were like, this is so scary. Like people could be recording us at any time and we just don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
And then our voices are going to be on HBO and they're going to be hating on us and like whatever.
Got it.
And so I think that's unethical because it's like,
but
if someone was coming into a club and just like recording people without their knowledge, just like try to get information, but like it's taken out of context, like you don't actually know what's going on, like
sure,
that kind of thing.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know.
But
then
like,
they clarified in the documentary that that was never the goal.
Yeah, but they made it sound like it was exposing Bama Rush.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I feel like there's a way to do that is ethical.
Yeah.
However, I don't think anyone would agree to it because the ethical way is to like mic people up, have someone rush who is really into it, but like all the houses are aware.
Right.
And that's where I think they can't do it because no one would be like, sure.
Yeah. Everyone would have to be aware and consenting.
Yeah. And that's never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why it was a flop.
Yeah. Don't take my word on it. Like I said, I barely watched it, but like.
No, I mean, I
was
stopped.
definitely, it was so boring.
Yeah,
to me.
it was
like,
boring.
This is so boring. We're all just like speculating on what could have happened, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like why don't we actually do it and then we'll talk.
Maybe they could do it at a smaller school, one that's not so.
But then it's not like jarring.
I know, but like womp womp.
Hopefully I'm not completely wrong. What if like everyone who's watched it is like, no, actually they all did rush and like.
No, I feel like that's the general consensus.
Okay.
It was kind of a flop.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So with the overall vote.
Yeah.
It's a flop.
I loved that episode.
I know, that was so fun.
Yeah.
I have so many more stories too. Like I feel like we only did like 4 stories. I have at least 10 more.
Love it. Part 2.
Part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you guys like this one. I feel like this one was very chatty.
Yeah, let us know if you like the life chats.
Yeah.
I do when I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the general feeling is.
I like it too. And I feel like we've almost branded ourselves as like Reddit podcast. So then when we don't read the top comment on Reddit, or like when we talk about something that's not a Reddit story, people are like, but read the top comment and like Reddit and like you're doing everything that like a Reddit podcast is doing and like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, while that is true, like most of the stories come from Reddit, it's like the goal is not to just like reiterate what people are saying on Reddit. Like the goal is to just talk about interesting stories and like
talk about our life.
Yeah, our
in
life
relation to it.
Just have conversations. So like whether the topic is like being found on Reddit or not, like I want to talk about it.
Yeah. Stories, drama, advice, conversations.
And I feel like as we evolve, it's becoming more and more personal and like we are sharing more personal stuff. So I like it that way.
I do too.
So like if what you're looking for is like they read the Reddit story, they read the top comment and that's it, it's like maybe this isn't that, but
maybe
whatever.
not.
I don't know.
Or just give us a chance.
Yeah, give us a chance.
Broaden your horizons.
Yes.
We have interesting lives, okay?
Yeah, we are so interesting.
And if anyone has morning routine tips, my inbox is open.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.